Okay, we're going to address the future. I'm going to talk about the most, horrific cataclysmic event that could possibly happen that you've heard about. Edgar Cayce, Nostradamus, others have predicted it, and it hasn't even happened. We're 50 years past when it was supposed to happen. But let's talk about the worst possible scenario, because I'm not here to let's just say, instill fear in you. I'm actually going to do the opposite, because you know me, we're going to break through fear. Yeah, I got a big announcement. I'm going to be on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. I'm going to talk about that also in this video, because we're going to talk about all of this stuff. Why? We're going into an era of big changes, and I want to share with you something that could completely free you from any fear of the future and worrying about what that might look like. I think you're going to love this. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. This stuff, this is all fun. This is funny. This is funny. No, you don't think it's funny? Well, maybe I'll get you to laugh a little bit. Hey, listen, I've done everything. I've had a puppet playing the role of the ego. I've talked to you with spinach between my teeth, with mascara. What else can I do? We're going to talk about the end of the world. No, it's really not going to be the end of the world. Let's talk about the massive change that's going to shift us into something completely different. Because it will happen at some point. There has to be some big changes on the planet. Mostly the planet, not just us. Of course, we can do stupid stuff too, but I don't see that happening. All right. I'm going to share some things with you that are going on out there, that are being said out there. And I'm going to share with you, no matter what we discuss today or what they discuss, I'm going to give you something to think about that could possibly shift you into a space of peace, acceptance, and yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Yeah, let's live our lives. Let's do something amazing. You ready to do that? Before we start, I have to ask you, please subscribe if you want to support my channel. And positive words, AI knows what you do. So when you click and you tell YouTube that you like these messages, then it starts to shift, and that's how we change our reality. The whole program, the whole quantum field works that way. When we put positive messages out and thoughts, and we believe things that are much more empowering and compassion and love, the program changes. That's what's going on. Everything's just energy, and it's not to be judged. It's just expressing itself. All right, so I'm going to share with you a few things that have been said out there. We all know this stuff, all right? I'm going to say it. Water, the U.S., California. How many people have moved from California? It's still there. Okay, you can roll the dice. But yeah, we've seen many more things go on in other countries. I mean, at what point do you live your life where you just have to say, okay, whatever happens, happens. But that's what we're going to talk about today, because it eventually will happen. Okay, it has to, because we know that there are cities underwater. We know that cities were above water centuries ago that are now below. Something happened. We know that dinosaurs were taken out. Was it a comet? Was it a asteroid? We don't really know for sure. We haven't really found evidence of that completely. But we know something big happened on the planet that took them out. All right? We know that humans have changed. We know that there have been presence here of other visitors that have been documented on, cave walls and buildings everywhere around the world without communication to one another, that is evidence that other things have happened here that have changed our future. We will go underwater at some point. Why? Because things are melting. And when that happens, the waters go up. When other things happen, when the earth changes, when there's solar flares and all kinds of other things going on out in our beautiful cosmos, it's going to affect us. Energy affects us, right? So we may have earthquakes and other changes and the pole shift. We've heard about the pole shift for years now. That hasn't happened. But if it does, here's what I want to share with you. I saw a few things. I purposely watched them because, I don't watch any of this stuff. It's sort of crap, okay. It is. It's a lot of bull crap. It gets a lot of eyeballs on their channel and really instills fear. Oh, these 3 people predicting the future. I don't know. I see a huge war, and oh yes, I do too. And I see that King Charles is going to have a short reign. Oh no crap. Seriously, he's got cancer. Wow, you're a rocket scientist. The predictions were so insanely ridiculous. You could say anything out there, and something's going to hit. You throw spaghetti at the wall, it's going to eventually stick. That's all I'm hearing. And so we've been hearing this stuff for years. We are going through a big event now, but it's a spiritual one. It's very noticeable and we can feel it. I know this, and this is what I talk about most of all, because this is tangible through our actions, our beliefs, our feelings. People are sharing what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what they're believing. So even though it's the unseen world, it still translates into a way of life, actions, discussions, all right? What's going to happen is we are going to have big changes on the planet. Remote viewers who've been pretty accurate about a lot of things, but not completely. No one can know the future for sure. No one knows the time and day. Not even the Father. Why? Because the creation of everything, which is Source, can change it at any time. So it's not that they don't have knowledge, it's that we have free will. So we can change things that happen. That's all that means. And so, the Father, who's the Father, the source of all things, doesn't know where everything's going to go or land because it may change its mind along the way, may do different things. So we don't know the time or date because there's no such thing as time anyways. Okay, here we go. So we're hearing these predictions out there that are mimicking each other. Remote viewers, and I've heard over and over again, no one has seen a huge war. No one, except for these 3 yin-yangs that were, I'm sorry, they were. I see a big war. Yeah, so maybe we'll have some, unrest amongst people. And the only reason we'll have that is because there are people here, especially in the United States, that are pushing us to fight with one another over made up crap. It's made up. It's made up. And people are wanting to take sides and fight for certain things. And if anybody uses that word in anything, they are dividing you and they're causing separation. They are creating the divide and the split that is a low frequency. That's low frequency world thinking. It is. I'm sorry. And it creates a power, a divide of power. I'm here and I'm going to control the little minions who are going to go run around and fight with each other. Yay! Aren't I great? I can just wave my wand, and that's exactly what's going on. So be careful of that. If somebody speaks division, separation, violence of any kind, struggle, conflict, instead of sitting down and saying, what is it we're really arguing about? There's nothing to argue about. That it is low frequency. It's the old world, and you will get involved in that, and you will think you have to defend yourself, hoard, protect yourself, and it's useless. And here's the crux. Here is the core of this video. I am going to ask you a question. Do you believe you are going to live forever as this person? No, of course not. No, you're going to transition into something else. If you're going to go out, regardless of what it is, it could be a slow death of cancer. You could struggle. You could have Alzheimer's. You could get hit and killed in a car accident. Who cares if you go into the ocean in some cataclysmic event? We're all leaving here. I would rather go out that way. That's pretty amazingly dramatic. Wow. Oh my God. I would rather be in one of the ones in Atlantis that went out than some, caveman who got, hit on the head with a rock. That's boring. You're gonna die. I'm sorry, you're gonna die. Who cares how it is, right? If it's because we go underwater, I'm here in Florida. Somebody said, "Oh, aren't you gonna?" No, really, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life someplace else that I don't want to be, because I'm gonna live in fear of a potential ending that I'm sure we'll get some kind of warning, and if we don't, big whoop. I'm going down. I'm going to anyways at some point. What a way to go. And by the way, we already know this before we come here. So if you're meant to go, you already know you're going to be the ones to go. Just like when we had our little health thing, our little health thing. There were people that already knew when they came here in advance that they were going to exit during that. It was a transition for our planet. That changed our world. And so people have to leave. So there are those that come in and decide to leave, and they go off to this amazing place. Is that such a bad thing? And so we're sitting here struggling and suffering in the most painful place in the universe. And they go off and we're going, I'm gonna hoard and, fortify my house to protect myself against what? What are you protecting? You're gonna go someday. And how do you want to go, right? Hoarding and protecting and fear and, being afraid and seeing other people as enemies, and you're this, and then this is insanity. Insanity. Get a grip. All right, how do you feel now? You're gonna go, right? How do you want to go? Why don't you just live your life without fear? Well, I don't say without fear. I say break through it. Because that fear out there is exciting. But if it doesn't control you, it's even more exciting, because you realize this makes it a really interesting place to live. It's a real interesting adventure, this is. Unbelievable. All right? Isn't it? It's like, ooh. I always say, jumping out of a plane with a parachute, no big deal if you don't have any fear. Yeah? It's the initial fear that makes it so great. How am I not getting this whole thing of people being afraid? What's the future? I'm going to tell you right now, we're going down. We're going down. Nobody knows when or how and who's going to do what where, because your individual journey, you might decide that, you're going to be the ones that survives and goes through all the whatever. I don't know if I want to be around for that. I'd rather leave and come back or not come back. It would be nice if I didn't have to come back. And this is not an easy place to be. What is it everybody is afraid of? Live your life beautifully. Collaborate. Be a community. Show compassion for those going through fear. And be the change maker. Create things that can change our planet. You guys know I created digitalexplorers.net. I'm changing the planet. Why? If it's just a handful of people that join and learn how to create online businesses, doing good things, planet conscious, good for themselves, getting their health back, doing good things for other people, then I've made an impact. And then I can leave here, and if it's because Florida goes down in some cataclysmic water event, then you're going to see me going, blah, 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 blah. By the way, I'm a Pisces anyways. Fish, I welcome it. I'll be in there with the fish and the whales. What is the big deal? Can you get a grip now and realize, wait a second, if I'm going to go, the chances of you going in that event are 1 in a billion, because it's probably not going to happen in our lifetime. And if it does, I'm sorry. But, nothing else is going to matter except for your reaction. Your reaction. Everything's about my response. Everything's about your response. And if you come out of fear, you will see the opportunities, and everything we're going through is an opportunity to come together, not to go into fear, not to worry about what's going to happen in our future, but to create it. And so no matter what that huge big event is, and it won't be just one, trust me, whatever it is, what's my role in it? There's always some hero. There's always somebody who puts themselves first and they go into the most amazing place. They go into such great euphoria because they placed the one first. They pulled down the lines of separation and they went into this space of total unconditional love and connected to exactly what they are and anything else that happens around that. And by the way, if you go down in any of these events, if it does happen, God forbid, you won't experience any pain. You're going to leave your body before that happens. You're going to be going, I'm out of here. Woo! That was a trip. What are you going to do? Live your life. Do amazing things. What are you afraid of? I said, people, I want to create an online business doing good things, but I don't know. Okay, great. Then sit and whine. Or you can join us and have a blast and be scared out of your brains and go do it anyways, right? And go, woo, hair on fire, yeah, Mach 10, what is it, Mach 5, I don't know what it is. Okay, are you ready? Quit worrying about it. And you know what? No one has those answers. And these people that predict and they've got telling you fear, what's the... I want to know why they're doing that, why they feel they need to tell you to do this, why. Their intentions are not good. They love banking on fear. It gets them a lot of views. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is a space of total euphoria, of light and love that you can experience right here no matter what happens. You will have no second thoughts about what you should do. You're going to place others first, and if you experience any fear, you're going to know exactly what to do with that, and it's just to observe it and know it's part of the human experience. It's never going to go away. Not as long as you're here in this body. Use it, experience it, enjoy it, and say, wow, that's what it's like. That's what it's like to fear. That's what it's like to think that there's an ending, because there isn't. There isn't one. You always have been, you always will be. You're going to transition into something else beautiful. But if you battle this and you go into the fear and the fighting with other people and taking sides and going into conflict, good luck. The cause and effect, it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be pleasant. It doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be painful. You get to choose it. You're ready to join a world that's so amazing, and you can experience those choices out there. That doesn't go away, but you can see it differently. So join me on Coast to Coast AM, July 7th. I'm going to talk to George Norrie. He's going to interview me, and we're going to talk about miracles, because he decided, well, actually his media people decided that Digital Explorers is about breaking through all the fears and doing things that are so amazing and creating a new world. Break through fear. My teachings, you guys have been in here. My miracle circle, it's all about doing things that seem miraculous but are just really your capabilities. That's all they are. You can do this stuff every day. It's the other things that you think that create those limitations. And I'm going to tell you right now, you are absolutely so perfect. You are so perfect. It's not out there. And there's nobody out there to look to or to pray to. You all just have to ask. Ask. That's the prayer, is to know it is done. It says that in the Bible, ye are all gods. These things you shall do and more. Just stop with the madness and say, whew, cool. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Neither do any of these people that tell you they can predict the future. They may get a glimpse, one of endless probabilities. Don't ever forget that. There's no one end probability. It's endless. So whatever they say exists somewhere, may not be in your reality. You get to choose it. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I'm visiting my friend right now, so I'm going to go have a glass of wine with my puppy that I'm babysitting, and I'll send you light and love, and I hope you accept that. And just open up and send it out to the planet. No matter what choices they make, send them all love and receive it. Blessings, my friend. Namaste.